Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I've been having some issues with yellow jackets recently. My wife tells me every time she comes outside to water the flowers, she gets swarmed. Now, some time back I did put out a video about how I take care of the yellow jacket nests under the eaves of the house and that, but this situation is different. They've apparently made a large nest underneath my house in the crawl space. Now, I can't actually see the nest itself, but I know it must be large just based on the volume of yellow jackets that are coming in and out of the vent that leads to the crawl space. And you couldn't pay me enough to get up under the house in a confined space where I can't run and spray down a bunch of angry yellow jackets. So today's mission is just to reduce the population of yellow jackets as much as possible, and hopefully that way the nest becomes more manageable. Okay, so just around the corner from the flowers here is the vent in question, and you can see yellow jackets coming in and out of there all the time. Now, in that previous video I showed a solution which I like to make that is really effective on yellow jackets, but it depends on them being stationary. And yesterday I made the mistake of trying to spray these guys down while they were in flight in this general area, and it wasn't very effective. It was just making them angry, and they were coming back at me and trying to sting me. So eventually I figured out if I just sit back and wait for them to go into or out of that vent there, they have to slow down, and that's usually sufficient for me to give them a good dousing with my liquid solution, and that's been a lot more effective. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So in my last video I just had a small hand sprayer, and that works if you only have a small number of yellow jackets to contend with. But today I'm up in my game. I have this fairly large 2-gallon garden sprayer, and the ingredients remain the same. I'm using just some standard dish soap. This happens to be Dawn because that's all they had, but I recommend just buying the cheapest dish soap that they have at your local store. And I've never really measured this out, but what I found is that once you fill this up with water, the water should have a blue tint to it. And you want to err on the side of caution by using a little more than you might think is necessary. And you can test it out once you're done, just to spray a bit on the driveway, and it should bubble up. If it doesn't, you haven't put enough soap in. And then this is just standard peppermint oil. If you buy it in the jugs like this, it's not that expensive, and this again will hold 2 gallons. So it's really cost effective relative to buying Raid or something along those lines. Now the soap, basically this will coat their wings and coat their bodies and start to break down this waxy film that they have, and it helps to basically suffocate them. And I don't know that the peppermint oil has any particular function, but what I've read is that it kind of overpowers their senses and confuses them. And I will say that I have used this a lot, and I've never once been stung by a yellow jacket when I was using this particular concoction. So there we go, we're getting some good soapy water. So that's going to be really good for the yellow jackets. Well, I wasn't at it for too long before it got dark, and it looks like all the yellow jackets have gone to sleep. There's no more activity out here, but as you can see, I did manage to get quite a few of them. Okay, so it's the next day, and all those dead yellow jacket bodies that were here last night have all been cleaned up by the yellow jackets. But unfortunately, I still see a bunch of yellow jackets coming in and out of that vent there. So obviously my work's not done yet. Okay, well, it's getting dark, and it seems that the yellow jacket activity has ceased for the day. And this is how many yellow jackets I got today. Okay, so it's the next day in the evening time. I'm getting ready to start spraying here pretty soon. And as you can see here, the yellow jackets are busy at work. They're clearing out those dead bodies from last night. And they haven't cleared them all out. And I think that's for a couple of reasons. First, I killed more yellow jackets last night than I have before, but also I think there just may be less workers now available to do the job. So that's a positive sign. I'm going to go ahead and get my sprayer filled up, start spraying again. Okay, well, I'm definitely seeing fewer and fewer yellow jackets coming in and out of this hole here. And this is what we have at the end of today. We're definitely making some progress. So I'll check again tomorrow and see what we have. Okay, it's another day and another pile of dead yellow jackets. I thought I'd give a quick status update. I think today is about the 8th day of spraying these yellow jackets. So let me show you what I got. I'm spraying down about that many yellow jackets every day, plus the few that end up on the rocks here. I don't know exactly how many I've sprayed to date, but certainly it's been in the hundreds. So progress is being made. I think the nest must be a lot larger than I expected because they're still coming in and out of there. All right, so I just came out from underneath the house, and you're not going to believe the yellow jacket's nest I found under there. Now, I haven't seen any activity over the last couple of days, so I don't know how many yellow jackets are left. I'm hoping none, but I'm not taking any chances. I have my sprayer. I'm going to go ahead and take that sprayer and take it underneath the house and start dousing that yellow jacket's nest. If there are any yellow jackets left, they'll start to come out to protect the nest. We'll play it by ear. If I start getting attacked, I'll have to leave. Now, I'm going to be wearing a mask. I saw some mouse droppings in that while I was under there, and it's pretty dusty. So I won't be able to talk, but I'll bring the camera along, and we'll see how it goes. So at this point, I've got my sprayer, and I placed a camera and a light near the nest on that far wall there, and I start making my way toward the nest. This is just below the vent, and that water's left over from spraying a few days prior, and it doesn't show up well on camera, but there are lots of dead yellow jackets and thousands of body parts down there. So it seems that a lot of the dead bodies were pulled back through the vent and deposited below the nest, and even with an N95 mask on, the smell is pretty bad. And just above the vent is the nest, and it's pretty impressive as it is, but as you'll see later, there's a lot more to it. Here I've tried to get a closer view, and I'm still looking out for yellow jackets. That pattern on the nest looks really interesting. At this point, I decided to go ahead and start spraying the nest. When you're spraying an enclosed nest like this, it's impossible to douse all the wasps inside. So a bunch of them usually come out immediately and try to defend the nest. And I'm at least half expecting that angry yellow jackets are going to come after me. So after about 5 minutes of spraying and waiting without any signs of yellow jackets, I grabbed a garbage bag and a plastic scraper to start removing the nest. And I've never seen a nest quite like this. They built it sort of flat against the wall, and it was surprisingly easy to scrape off the plywood. So here's where I get my first glimpse of the primary section of that nest. It managed to stay dry since it was protected by the insulation. So now I'm concerned that there might still be yellow jackets hiding in that upper portion. So here I just start poking and scraping away as I did before, and you can start to see the comb structures. And I'm still looking out for any potential yellow jackets. And here's what it looks like up in that cavity. I went ahead and cleaned up the rest off camera, and I never saw any yellow jackets. All right, well, I'm really happy that that's over. That was definitely the largest nest that I've ever dealt with, so I was really happy that it was empty. Now, this whole process did take quite a long time, but it was pretty effective. I believe I killed enough of the workers that it eventually collapsed the whole colony, and I assume that any of the wasps that weren't killed directly probably just left the nest. I noticed something rather interesting after watching the video back, and that is before I started spraying, I was seeing the yellow jackets going in and out of that vent rather quickly. But after I started spraying, they would usually come around to the vent and sort of search around for a while before going in, as if they were a bit confused. And that seems to confirm what I've read, which is that the smell of the peppermint oil overwhelms their senses and kind of confuses them. And I believe that that's why, even though I've had yellow jackets come at me after spraying, I've never actually been stung when I was using the peppermint oil spray. Now, with that said, I did manage to get stung once during this ordeal, and it was before I started spraying, so there's no peppermint smell in the air. And I was just getting things set up, about to talk to the camera, and I was stupidly standing right in front of the vents there, right across from where their exit point is, and one managed to get me on the finger. Now, in case you're wondering, I estimate that I used somewhere around 10 gallons of this spray for this project. I used up about half of my peppermint oil and just a little more than half of my dish soap, which means that I only spent about $15 in materials. As you can imagine, that was a whole lot cheaper than if I were to buy 10 gallons of this commercial wasp spray, or if I were to hire a professional. And remember that this spray is completely non-toxic. So anyway, that's about all I have for this video. I hope that this was informative or at least entertaining in some way, and we'll see you next time.